I'm soaring, friends. I am Vitaly Portnikov. With the receipt of a prize, the United States will be able to throw off its European allies. The bins of Croatia, Denmark, and Poland in the amount of close to billions of dollars, notifying Ud Axios. Often on those resets, as if the rules for the Russian-Ukrainian front were based on a new initiative. I am paying the European allies of the American relief for the Ukrainian Defense Forces. Technically, the operation and the grabs to the officials and the State Department of the skin solution for the discharge of the overgrowth cannot get out of the shutdown. Sprats are opponents of the sovereign department. Yaks can take the fate of the decision. Of torture are frequent on the officials of the department, and the American departments were sent to the launch. And cannot in the icon in their services, the sad situation for all with the received states. It is just being forgotten on the postachin for the Europeans, and, obviously, for the Ukrainian army. And one negative legacy of the greatest American history of shutdown. Moreover, I see Krizev's situation shvidku podolan. Practically not the American Democrats are joking about the understanding of the Republicans. He does not want to get rid of his recent votes for the Democratic Party in the elections in New York and in the American states. Could just candidates of the Democratic Party. And the Democrats will simply forget about their ties from the social sphere. Obviously, it can negatively affect their results. In the elections before the American Congress, and already in 2026. And Donald Trump does not want to act, then obviously not for the political situation with the money received in the states. So Davy and I love to act. And the American president's girlfriend can be purely utilitarian. I just have problems shadowing the frequent power services. I would guess another years of the mission of the presidency of Donald Trump. From the mission of the billionaire Elon Musk. He practically failed, and the Musk's mission ended with his own public welding of a recent idol. And PPR Shadanu Trump can both buy ear Musk. Hundreds of pennies in the budget itself. With the help of rich people, I am busy today with the state services of continuing my career, and there is no place for them at Maybit. And he will also cut out the rat, and maybe just move away from the liquidation, on the reorganization of the state apparatus. Republicans and Democrats cannot find such a rank with the years. Democrats are going to throw out their inhabitants for the election. And Republicans understand and do not joke, but do not waste your dreams. And this is a serious problem, as we are, of course, for the Russian-Ukrainian war itself. I'll tell you more in the waste of Avdiivka. I'm just the Republicans of Kilko months on the bill of President Joseph Biden. Tied from the temple, I will help Israel for Ukraine, that Ukraine of the Asian region. And the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine simply did not waste its resources in order to fight the Russian aggressor. For the greatest distance directly at the front. At a time, the shortened American supplies would be cut so much. Tied up with the fact that the grant, given by the American Congress, is something wild. And the president with the boof received in the state, Joseph Biden has bailed out. And Ukraine will dump the yak of its European allies, and on the initiative of the pro-yak initiative. The Europeans will dump the American and sell it to the Ukrainian Defense Forces. Sprats will be dropped by the jealous sprats of the Ukrainians of the American administration. The administration informed President Putin about the war on the Russian-Ukrainian front. It will be possible to enter, not to attack. And the dumping will not allow the fact that the political processes in the most recently obtained states of Kroc and Donald Trump to consolidate the power of the Lord. Obviously, the incomprehension of Bogum by the official and his administration and the American president himself of the strategic descendants of shutdown PPR are given in signs on the Russian-Ukrainian vein. In Tim Yaki, on the rich tortures of American foreign and domestic policy, in fact, the ruin and the sovereign institutions from the received states and their foreign political role. And we are extremely talking about the Russian-Ukrainian war. It is possible to criticize political decisions in Ukraine. It is possible to criticize the decision in the command. And absolutely logical from the point of view of a more technical approach, allowing Ukraine. I cannot apply my power and visco-technical and demographic potential from the Russian Federation to balance at the front against 4 long years of aggressive guilt from the nuclear over the attempt. Failed to throw out all these ambitni. I am Putin in front of his fiercely 2020 about having sailed for a sprat into the Ukrainian state and traveled through the Ukrainian territory with us to the Russian Federation. Such a posto. I still have such parity. This can be praised both on, and the most ingenious solution, and with the very reality of the Russian, viscose and demographic. To that Zavdiv, and then everyone was guessing Kalyshnev's ghost, which means that we know that PPR and Maybit President Donald Trump, and actually did not allow Republicans to vote for bills, allowing them to shoot down that it would help Ukraine. To PPR, we are talking about Pokrovsk within the framework of the scooping out of the American military package. And shutdown will also be known about spending the Ukrainian army. The fact that shutdown Tilky is Trump's Namagini. Knock down your Vlad from a sprat from the state services. And on the tilka of the adoration of democracy, their teeth are thrown out in front of the imperious and the choice. It's a pity, Ukrainian wine and Ukrainian geography. Diakuyu agrees on the topic of the channel, subscribe to it. Subscribe to my social channel in Patreon helps develop these resources. The sponsorship function in YouTube itself.